Hey, it's Madison. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I have not made a video in a minute. Matter of fact, I don't even remember what my last video was. Life has been crazy. Stress has been extremely high. I'm gonna run it down for you. A little bit of a life update, just kind of like my life as video, just like what's going on and kind of like breaking down schedules and stuff. If you're new here, I'll just cover the base. I'm a vet tech, and I foster and rescue slash like adopt out, rehome stray cats that live outside. Um, I have adopted out 20 cats now. I have no idea where I was my last video. I'm a real busy girl. It's been kitten season, so let's see, 15 of those 20 were just kittens. But yeah, so I have 2 adult mothers left to get homes, and then another female cat that's outside, and then after that we're down to the feral ones, which I actually don't know the count on that. So most of those are going to be like a TNR kind of situation, trap them, get them a rabies vaccine, get them fixed, dewormed, just, do whatever you can and then send them back on their way. So that's the plan with that. But yeah, I've gotten out a decent amount of female cats. So no more of them having litters, at least. Thank goodness. Aside from me being a vet tech, I also am starting my BSN, Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. I'm starting it. Today is August the 10th, and I'm starting on August the 25th. That's when classes officially open. I am unbelievably nervous. Also, because I got another job. So, and I start on the same day. I start on the 25th, the same day classes start. It's literally like, okay, let me break it down for you. So right now, I work in a general practice. I work Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 7:45 to 6. And then on Tuesdays, I work 8 to 2. So that's 36 hours. Every other Saturday-ish, at least 2 Saturdays a month, I'll work 9 to 1. So basically, anywhere from 72 to 76 hours in a 2-week period is what I'm working. On top of working full time and going to school full time, there will be a point in time in which I have to also work for free at a hospital as a student nurse. With knowing that, I've been especially leaning towards working on the weekends. My partner works on the weekends. Working in a general practice sucks because you're only really open like 11 hours a day. My clinic is only open 8 to 6, and that's Monday through Friday. Some of them are open every Saturday. Some of them aren't open any Saturdays. Some of them are open Saturdays all day. Some of them are open Saturdays for only like 4 hours. So I knew I needed a job that was more flexible with going to school. I needed a job that if I, get further into my career and need to slowly cut my hours, or like if I, you know what I mean? Like there's, and like also working weekends, especially. That's really what I need is a job I can work nights and weekends if possible. With all that being said, I have to work full time to sustain myself, period, point blank, no matter what. So it's either work full time and go to school or work full time. I also, if I really, really want to get financial aid in the fullest amount, student loans the fullest amount, really like finish the schooling quick enough, I also have to do school full time. Generally speaking, it's like 12 credit hours, which is somewhere in the ballpark of 4 classes. I'm taking 13 credit hours this upcoming semester because I have 4 classes and one of them has a lab attached to it. So I'm doing that and working. So working 4 days a week, 3 10s and 1 6, 3 days, 2 of those days being weekends, when like you can study, sure, but assignments aren't due on the weekend. It's more kind of like, okay, but that means you're going to work during the weekdays. So you're going to work 7:45 to 6, and then you're going to come home and do assignments until when? And then you're going to go to work the next day. Right. You know what I mean? So I didn't really know what to do. I was really stressed for a minute. Let me wind it back to like even the beginning of this year. My partner started school, and even before that, probably, I had started feeling like I can't do this for the rest of my life. GP, like just this specifically, just like it gets so slow sometimes. And then they for real expect you to like clean something that you just cleaned yesterday. Like some days are just going to be slow. Some weeks are going to be slow. Some months are going to be slow. And it's going to be boring. And it's like, I don't know, you just start to resent the place because you're bored all the time and you're being told to go polish the toilet handle or something. Regardless, I was at a point where I felt like, yeah, no, I need to go a different path, find something else, do something else. I can't stay at this amount of pay, which, yeah, I took this job in January of 2024. And at the time, it was like a 50-cent increase from my previous job. And I wasn't quite struggling on my previous job. I was getting by at my previous job's wage. It was $18.50. I'll be honest, I'm in Texas. It was $18.50, which is not a bad, like, that's not like I've made way worse. You know what I mean? I know there is worse to be made, but it is not like, it's not like I can stop here. I can't make $18.50 for the rest of my life. And even with steady wages, it's just the growth is not there. But I didn't really know what to do yet. And I just was like, I'm just going to stick with it and see if maybe it's just the clinic. Maybe I can make more money at another clinic. Maybe I can get more experience. Maybe I was also in vet tech school. Texas doesn't require licensure to practice being a vet tech. So I wasn't licensed. I just got hands-on experience, volunteer, kennel assistant, then vet tech. Like I kind of climbed. I started doing online school to get my LVT to become an LVT, a licensed vet tech. But then, like I was saying, I was making $18.50 and I was going to school, and it just kind of started churning in my head like, am I gonna make enough money doing this to even sustain myself in 5 years? Like, let alone the rest of my life. Like, I don't know if this is sustainable. I really don't, especially with the way things are going in the world. And so I just, yeah, but I stuck with it. I was like, I'm just gonna stick with it for now. I don't know what else to do. I'm just gonna stick with it for now. It just doesn't feel like I'm doing enough, or it just feels like what I'm doing isn't enough for me. I didn't feel fully fulfilled as a vet tech. I don't feel like I'm being challenged enough. Going to school added a little bit of challenge, but it all came down to, where do I actually want to be? Like, where do I want to be? And I feel like I need a job where I feel like I can have more impact in the long run, where I feel like I can really do something with that. And I love animals, but I honestly prefer rescuing animals. I feel being a vet tech, it did a lot for me. And it taught me a lot, and it gave me more confidence in myself and my like mental strength and abilities. But I don't feel like it's a final path. I do love animals, and unfortunately, the reality of it is working with animals does not make enough money to do the things that I want to do outside of work, which are save and rescue animals, spend time with my partner, have my own pets, give back to the world. I can't really do that on a vet tech salary. Like if you're a vet tech and you're like watching this or like listening to this, or if you want to be a vet tech and you're like watching this and listening to this, whatever, I'm not saying all this to discourage you. If you feel like the low amount of pay and the low scope of growth is like for you, because a lot of people don't mind like getting somewhere and just sticking with it. Like a lot of my coworkers have been there for like 6-10 years. Like, they're, if that's what you want, that's totally fine. And like don't let this like discourage you. If you Google right now average vet tech salary, depending on the state, that's definitely, you're licensed. So that's the cost of school that you have to keep in mind, which is, depending on the institution, similar to other majors, other degrees. You can do it online, like I was doing with Penn Foster. For like the full degree, I think would have been like less than 10,000, but that's online, that's self-paced. You're doing a lot of work. You're not a lot of resources, not a lot of help. So that's something to keep in mind. But if you look up the average wages in Texas, I think veterinary specialties make like 60,000, which is not bad. Like but it's getting worse. That's the thing. It's getting worse. And for me, in my anxiety, that's a big ding, ding, ding. It's not a way, like, it's clearly, it is not keeping up with the rate of inflation. But with all that being said, I have chosen to leave vet med. I feel as though I'm called to medicine, and I'm called to helping people in times of need, in crisis, being there. I'm a very empathetic person, and I always have been extremely empathetic. And so one of the biggest things that calls me to human medicine is the lack of empathy in human medicine. I feel a calling to be there, to be another voice, another step, another person that's going to actually try their best to ensure survival, and not only survival, but thrivability. I feel like this whole thing has just been a big old ramble, and it's because I'm full of such anxious energy. And as far as the new job, being in the ER is something that I've wanted to do for a while, but most ERs require ER experience, which hello, how are you supposed to get ER experience if you don't have ER experience? You know what I mean? It's just kind of like starting from, as far as like my schedule, what I'm going to be changing to, so I start school and the new job on the 25th. For the first 3 weeks, I'm going to be training at, okay, I didn't explain this earlier. So it's a new ER that's opening up, and it is a like referral clinic. They've got like oncology, they have internal medicine, stuff like that, that regular practices, general practices like mine will refer out to them. So that like referral kind of like network clinic is opening an ER and 2 more diagnostic departments. So the ER will be 24 hours, as are ERs generally. I don't think I've ever heard of an ER that's not open 24 hours. It's kind of what makes it an emergency room or an emergency department. They are opening like second week of September. Obviously, I'm starting on August 25th. So for a few weeks, I'm going to be training at their regular place, which is only open like Monday through Friday. I actually don't know. I don't know how long they're open, but I'm going in from 7 to 6 Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for the first little bit. And then after that, what my real schedule is, what I'm hired for, what I'm signed on for, is Friday, Saturday, Sundays, 2 p.m. to like 2 a.m. ish. And then I'll have Mondays through Thursdays off. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have class, a chemistry class, 1 to 2:20. And then on Thursdays, I have a chemistry lab. And then I have 3 online courses. I've got developmental psychology, Texas government, and dance, understanding dance. It's like an intro course that I'm taking for an elective. So 4, kind of 5 classes if you count a lab as a full class. But so yeah, I'm still working out the kinks on my schedule. I'm still working out how I feel about everything. The price increase alone was like almost $4 an hour more than I make now, and that's not including the differentials that I'll make for working weekends and then the nighttime. I'm stoked for the increase in pay because I have been literally like very scared. I've not really been able to afford very much recently. It's been a lot. It's been very hard recently. So an increase in pay alone is like a big weight off my shoulders. I will technically still be working about the same that I am now, 36 hours a week, which is another source of stress because again, I'm taking 4.5, 5 classes. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think I'm done rambling. I think I'm gonna try and relax. I just wanted to sit down and record a little bit because a lot has been changing in my life. Literally my calendar is super full. You should see my digital calendar because it has even more than that one does. But yeah. And if you're on YouTube, go check out my Spotify podcast. It's just ClaireBear's Life also. I only have 1 episode out before this one, so you're not missing out much. But anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, follow, give me 5 stars, whatever. Do it all. Thanks.